organization, we stepping on Satan and open my we call it Sworks. Action on Taylor the killer verses. I do on my feeling my city hurt. They killing my babies, this war going crazy. I pray for my city to reimburse. Private schools for the kiddies. We the city and we litty. All I know is a swerve. With the heart, keep it busy. Know the life can be tricky, but please just let me finish. Let me just be a witness. S-Works handle business.
Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works.
Ready or not, here we come. South side, west side, east side, north side. Up on the run, we ain't for the none. We came in the party, we in for the fun. Celebrate life, the party we young. Sky is the limit, we looking above. We up in the sun, no matter what, we stay on the run. Ha, S-Work, do your thing. S-Work, keep it lit. Bullseye, keep your aim. Yeah, we up on the jib. North side, that's the way. Ready or not, here we come. S-Work, keep the energy. Look, yeah, we never unplug. S-Work, show some love.
Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works. Social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works, social works. Yeah, S works. Everyone put it in their hands. You know it's a vibe. They're waiting in line to get up and flood up the stands. Yeah, we in this together. We feeling like fam. It's all about peace. So pull up with friends.
Sworkshops are a series of online workshops featuring the many incredibly talented friends of social works. This series aims to inspire and educate, bringing local and national creatives live to your smartphone. They will be sharing and teaching specific aspects of their craft. A wide variety of professions, interests, and hobbies are represented within our curriculum. Did we mention it's a fundraiser too? The stay-at-home notice has students wondering what's to come. For some, graduation and prom will both be canceled. This campaign will directly fundraise a celebration event for those students within the Chicagoland area. Once it's safe, of course. Tune in to any of our socials for one or all of the Sworkshops. You can find the full schedule of programming at socialworkshy.org or on our Instagram. Classes start Monday, April 13th. We'll see you there.
Hi everyone, my name is Darrell Jones and I am with Chill Meditation, a studio here in Chicago that's opened up about 3 years ago to help people live a little less stress and more mindful in their lives. I want to thank you so much for taking some time to join in today and to take a few minutes to learn a little bit more about meditation. In particular, mindful meditation. What is it and how can I use it? How can I benefit from it? You're taking this time right now to engage in this workshop, to listen. So this is the beginning. If you've never meditated before, this is the place for you. And if you have meditated before, it's also the place for you. I want to thank Social Works for inviting us to be a part of this event with all of us in the shelter in place. The goal in the intro there was to inspire and educate, and that's what my personal hope is today as well, that I will inspire you to begin a meditation practice and also educate you a little bit on how to do it. One of the biggest misconceptions about meditation is that you're supposed to stop thinking. Today, our goal is not to stop thoughts. Today is our goal. Our goal is to be with whatever is here. So before we get into any more of that, I just wanted to also highlight that this is a fundraiser. Many years ago, not that long ago, but many years ago, I was a high school student, and I remember how fun it was to go to prom with my friends, and the importance of a graduation. I was actually just looking through some pictures the other day, and how much of an impact that had on me. And to think that there are so many that are unable to experience that because of the shelter in place. This is an amazing opportunity to create that experience when it's available. So if that is a passion to you, I invite you to look at the link below and to donate even $1, $10, $100. Invite friends to join you in the experience, and create a space for our Chicagoland area seniors and juniors to have a prom and a graduation. So I want to break down the flow of this workshop. For the next 10 minutes or so, I will be teaching, I will be instructing, I will be offering some framework about the practice of mindful meditation and what it is. During that time, if you have any questions, please ask away. That always informs so much more of making this more personal to you. After I do that short little lesson, meditation is something that we can talk about and that I love to talk about. But the most important way to really understand it is to experience meditation. So I will be leading us in a guided practice. Again, there's nothing you really need to know or understand in order to engage in it. I will be guiding you through the experience and offering prompts and cues to take you from moment to moment to moment. After we're done with that meditation, we'll still have probably about 10 or 15 minutes where I will address any other questions that may have come up now that you've had that experience of meditation, and also give you some tools of how you can carry this practice beyond these few moments together into the rest of your day and into the rest of your life. So, mindful meditation, 2 words, mindful, mindfulness. Let's first start with that. Mindfulness is a word that's been around for quite a long time. It has become very, very popular in the past 5 years, I think, in the United States. And without a doubt, it has been very popularized in the past 4 decades. In the late 60s, early 70s, as there was this new age awakening in our culture and society to more ways of living and being, people started to travel to the East, or at least read text from the East that pointed to Hinduism, Buddhism, and lots of other traditions that incorporated meditation as a part of that spiritual practice and tradition. Many people embraced it. Others saw it as kind of woo-woo, like to use that word. But there was a gentleman in particular, actually a couple of folks, but one in particular, John Kabat-Zinn. He brought the practice of meditation out of the context of spirituality, out of the context of religion, and brought it into the mainstream, the secular. He was a psychologist and recognized in his own life, his own meditation, that it did something to make his mind, his heart, his physical heart even, and his emotional heart stronger. So I'm sure so many of you out there are experiencing peaks and valleys, high moments of stress, low moments of depression, and then everything in between. That's always happening, but with the current state of how we are living, everything seems to have a little bit of gas thrown on the fire and everything's really intense. This practice of meditation is designed to encourage you to pay attention to the present moment. The definition of mindfulness is paying attention to the present moment in a particular way on purpose. Paying attention to this moment right now, right here, in a particular way on purpose. So basically, to break that down a little bit, what it means is you get paying attention on purpose, but on purpose means with intention. So why are you paying attention? We're going to do a little bit of an intention setting as a part of our meditation today. Are you paying attention to the present moment? Are you meditating for peace, for calm, for joy, for openness, for creativity, for solutions, or maybe just to chill out, as our name implies? Everyone gets that idea of chill, right? To chill out, to cool out, to relax, to lay back in the cut, whatever the phrase may be. You get the idea of that there's a pausing. The challenge is that most of us don't consciously take a pause throughout the day. How many of you brush your teeth? Hopefully all of you are making a silly face and nodding or going, why is he asking me if I brush my teeth? Of course I do. I brush my teeth a minimum of twice a day. Brushing your teeth does something to maintain your current level of oral health and hygiene and promote it to be even better. And I think you get that if you stop brushing your teeth, that all of a sudden the plaque builds up, your breath gets a little funky, and your oral health and wellness starts to go down, right? You don't brush your teeth on Monday and go, I'm cool for the week, and you wait until the next Monday to brush your teeth. You do it every day, twice a day. What do you do every day, twice a day, to benefit your mental and emotional health and well-being? Most of us don't intentionally do a whole heck of a lot. With mindful meditation and the way that we present it at Chill, it's something that is so doable, it's so approachable, and it only actually takes a few minutes. What's most important in beginning a mindful meditation practice is less about the quantity of time, I'd say. It's more about the quality of your time. So we're going to meditate for about 25 minutes, but you can start your practice with just 2 minutes a day. You can even just do it for 1 minute a day. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But for now, meditation, mindfulness in particular, is paying attention to the present moment on purpose in a particular way. What is meditation then? Meditation is nothing more than the disciplined practice of being mindful. That's it. So think of exercise. Most of us get it in our body, right? If I want this arm to become stronger, I need to do some flexing and lifting and give it some resistance in order for that muscle to grow. If it's too tight and I need to stretch it, then I need to engage in yoga or do something to move this arm in a way to stretch it beyond its current level of flexibility. If I don't exercise the muscles of my body, they're going to stay the way that they are and possibly even decay a little bit, right? The same is true with our mind. Our mind is going to operate the same way. It's going to exist in what's called default patterns or default modes, unless we do something to strengthen or shift the way our mind moves. That can be our emotional mind. So if you think of someone coming up to you and looking at you in a certain way, if someone was to go, what's wrong with you? Immediately, you probably go into a defensive mode. What if you didn't have to go into that defensive mode? It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you don't care what others think about you. But why does it have to default to a defensiveness where you mentally put your dukes up? Creativity and problem solving, I think, is one of the biggest areas that a lot of people love to think about meditation because it applies to their life. So if you're a student in school and you're trying to get work done, or if you are someone who is gainfully employed right now and you're trying to come up with solutions for your work and how to get it done, it requires your mind to think outside of the box of the way it normally does. Meditation is a practice that stretches you. It stretches you just like if you were taking yoga and you went into downward dog and you had to elongate those muscles. Meditation stretches your attention. It stretches your mindset outside of its normal way of thinking and being. As a result, you're actually strengthening the mind to either come up with solutions, learn how to focus a little bit better, or manage, best of all, the stress, the constant up and down of our life. I'm hoping and assuming that since you're here and paying attention and listening, that is something that sounds good to you. Again, I encourage any questions. If I don't get to them right away as we move into the meditation, know that I will entertain them later. Here's what's required for you today in terms of your meditation. A couple of logistics in your body. Right now, I'm sitting in a chair. You can sit in a chair. You can be seated on a couch. You may be sitting in your bed. You can sit on the floor. You can actually even lay down on your back. There isn't one single way to meditate. I think oftentimes when people think of meditation, they think of monks seated on the floor with their legs crossed or on cushions or maybe yoga classes. That is one way of sitting, but you don't have to sit that way. For the sake of our practice today, what's most important is comfort. So a couple of things in your body. Comfort is one. The other one is it's okay to move. So once people get into a position, oftentimes when I'm teaching in a live situation, I notice people start to fidget a little bit, and afterwards they ask, was I screwing up my meditation because I started to move? The answer is no. If you need to adjust your body in some way so that you're more comfortable or it's easier for you to breathe, then do it. It's totally fine. The best thing is that there's really no way that you can mess this up. The only way to not meditate, I say, is to stop. So if you were to turn this off and walk away, then you would not be meditating. As long as you're engaged with this workshop today, then you in some way, shape, or form will be in the practice of meditation. Another like mind or mental logistic thing, our goal today is not to stop thinking. And actually, you can't turn the mind off. There isn't a button, there isn't a gauge, there isn't a wheel that you can turn that's going to shut your mind down. But what we are going to do is change your relationship with your thinking. If any of you have ever gone out on the Dan Ryan or stepped along the side of Lakeshore Drive or any of the busy streets in Chicago, if you're standing right at the edge of the road and cars are going by anywhere from 50, 60, sometimes 70, if not more, 80 miles an hour, if you held your body there and the edge of the side view mirrors of the car were going by at that rate, your body would start to tighten up every time a car would go by, and your mind would start to go into what some call the fight or flight place, where you're not quite certain if you're safe. And so you're getting ready to either push something away or you're going to run away yourself. Your muscles would tighten up. Your breathing probably gets really shallow. Here's the thing. If you were to step back from the edge of the highway or the road, just 10 feet, all of a sudden you would start to relax. Your breathing would slow down, and you would be able to notice some details about the cars going by. That's all we're attempting to do with our mind and our thinking in mindful meditation. Step back 10, maybe 15 feet and create a little bit of space. When we give ourselves license, when we say it's okay to not have to control every single thought that comes through our mind and figure out all of our life's problems every single second, all of a sudden some relaxation starts to come into the physical body, the shoulders drop down, our breathing slows down, and as a result, it benefits our physical body. Oftentimes, if we were hooked up to biofeedback equipment, you would be able to see that your heart rate drops and your blood pressure goes down. If you experience anxiety and or depression, which almost every single human on the planet does, I experience anxiety, I experience depression, not because there's something wrong with me, I do because I'm human, and that's part of our experience. The challenge, though, is the mental activity that promotes anxiety and depression. We can control it a little bit. If we're constantly thinking about the past and going, oh, I wish it was this way, oh, I wish this, I wish that, we tend to kind of get into a place of feeling sorry for ourselves, feeling sorry for the world, or feeling sorry for others, and feeling sad because something is gone. We're grieving, right? On the flip side, if we're constantly thinking about the future and going, oh my gosh, what if this happens? Oh my gosh, what if this happens? How am I going to handle it if this happens? That is not a bad thing. It's what allows us to solve problems. But if our mind is constantly spinning in the future and worrying about things that on some level we don't have a whole lot of control over, then that's when we start to experience anxiety. And if we stay there and we constantly spin in that space, that's when we start to experience chronic anxiety and some of the mental and emotional challenges that can come along with it. This practice of mindful meditation is simply, again, turning your attention back to something in the present moment and paying attention to it, like the feeling of air moving in and out of the body, maybe the feeling of our fingers rubbing together. It's nothing that you have to understand. It's just something you need to embrace and be witness to. I'm here as a guide to offer some things for you to pay attention to and witness. And like every single person on the planet, I'm going to say, take a deep breath in, and I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. When you close your eyes, your mind is going to run off to the future or it's going to run off to the past. The only thing you need to do is return to something in the present moment. Come back to the breath, come back to the sound, come back to whatever it is that I prompt you to pay attention to. And then as soon as your mind wanders away again, which it will probably happen after about 5 seconds, you gently bring it back as soon as you realize it's gone away. That's actually the practice of meditation, is returning. It's not about getting somewhere and staying in some special peaceful Zen spot, although you may have an experience of that. The actual practice, the actual exercise of meditation is returning, coming back. So think about the stress that's in your life right now around COVID-19 and everything that's happening with shelter in place. We're constantly ping-ponging, wishing that things were the way they were and wondering how they're going to be. That is going to cause a lot of stress and anxiety in our mental and emotional space. This practice of meditation, doing it a few times a day, will start to bring a little bit of calm, a little bit of peace, so that the body can rest, it can restore, and then you are more resilient. You can step back into the stress of your day and actually handle it. It doesn't knock you over. So let's take a quick look at some questions here before we start. So there was a question of how I feel backed up against the wall when I'm stressed out. How can mindfulness help in those moments? I think I spoke a little bit to that, but when we feel backed up against the wall, if you think about an animal that has been cornered, they feel like they have no option, right? So that's when they lash out and they start doing things of attack. Us as humans, when we feel backed up against the wall, we feel as if there's no option and we start making decisions that maybe aren't the best for us. The truth of the matter is, there's always choice, but a lot of times we don't see it. Mindfulness promotes choice. When we get present, we can go, oh, actually, I could go left or I could go right. And actually, I could go up or I could go down. I could say yes, I could say no, I could say maybe, I could say I don't know. There's lots of options as opposed to thinking there's a right answer and a wrong answer. If we're in that space of heightened stress where we feel like our backup is backed up against the wall, then we don't see those options. So this practice of mindfulness kind of slows us down, brings us back to the opportunity to see that there are choices there. So a question, do you do more online classes? Do I miss in-person classes? I personally do miss in-person classes, but I've also really enjoyed the expansion of our online presence at Chill. We offer classes twice a day. We have some free offerings once a day just to give people a little mini meditation taste. We do some of them on Instagram Live. We do some of them through Zoom. All of it is available at chillchicago.com. We are launching an app, actually, it's called Chill Anywhere. So we want you to be able to chill anywhere, to meditate anywhere. And chillanywhere.com can give you that information. All right, I think I will come back to some of these questions after the meditation in terms of books and what to do if the mind is racing. The best way to have a greater understanding of meditation is to actually experience it. So I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. We're going to hear a little bit of music to set the tone here. You can meditate in complete silence, or you can meditate with music. If you choose to use music, use something that doesn't have words. Most songs that have words are telling us a story, and that promotes the mind to go into a place of thinking once again. So something like this that has just an easy sound to it is what I would suggest. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Good. This next breath in, hold it when you get to the top. So breathing in, hold the breath. Keep holding it. And as you exhale, let your eyes gently fall shut. There's nothing that I'm going to be doing on the screen for the next few moments that you need to see, so give yourself the gift of closing your eyes. If you're in a place or space where it doesn't feel comfortable or safe for you to close your eyes, then let your eyesight drop down like you're looking down your nose, looking at the floor, and focus on something away from the screen so that you're not distracted if I move or something else comes across from another application. You can meditate with the eyes open. You can meditate with the eyes closed. The benefit of closing the eyes is that it instantaneously gives the mind a rest. We stop processing what we see, and we can focus on other things. Another deep breath in through your nose, and this time exhale through the nose if you can. Another exaggerated, slow, intentional breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Relax your breathing. Let it fall back into whatever feels easy or normal for you today. And acknowledge the position that you've chosen to sit. Just feel your body, feet on the floor, the legs are crossed, feel them wedged in between the legs. Let your attention rest on the body. There's no need to look at the body or even move the body to feel it. Let your attention be like a beam of light from a flashlight that you can shine down to your feet or rise and raise it up to the top of your head. This specific technique that we're about to engage in is called a body scan, where you scan the body, not looking for anything in particular, but just to be in relationship to feel the body in the present moment, to feel its relative tightness or looseness, its comfort or discomfort. There's no way that your body should or shouldn't be. It's just being the body that it is. But we let the sensations of the body be the most important thing that you pay attention to for the next few moments. So let's start by bringing your attention down. Take that flashlight beam of your attention and shine it down on your feet. How do the feet feel? Are they warm or cool? Do the muscles feel tight or relaxed? Let the light of your attention slowly begin to rise through the ankles, passing over the shins and the calf muscles, noticing that area of the body, up through the knees, and gently pass that light of your attention up through the thighs, the quads, the hamstrings, the top part, the bottom part of the legs, all the way up to your hips, your gluteal muscles, your pelvis, and pause here for a moment and become aware of your waist down. And notice if any of the muscles in your legs are twisting, or if you're holding the knees in or squeezing the muscles of the buttocks. These are a lot of areas that we unconsciously have tension in the body. If there's anything there, see if you can, by your will, with your next exhale, soften those muscles just a little bit. And now let your awareness float up from the hips to the muscles of the stomach, relaxing the belly, the abdominal wall, all the way up through the chest. Imagine that the muscles around the lungs and the rib cage are softening so that you can take the deepest breath you've taken yet so far today. Breathing in and out. Letting your attention float up to the shoulders. And notice if there's any lifting or holding in. Let these shoulders relax, moving away from the ears. And let the weight of the arms help the shoulders drop down. Feel your hands in your lap. And notice now the back side of the body. Imagine, if you will, the spinal column that's long. And imagine that it's like a spring that's unwinding a little bit, opening up. Let relaxation come down the backside of the shoulders, all the way down the back. And pause and experience your chest, your torso, your belly, your stomach, your back, your arms. Feel the chair or the floor supporting you. There's nothing that you need to do for these muscles to be relaxed. You can just let them be. A nice slow breath in. And with this exhale, let your attention gently float past the neck up towards the face. Letting some awareness come to the lips. Sometimes we purse the lips or hold them in position when we're thinking. Relax the tongue. Let the tongue fall to the floor of your mouth. Relax the cheeks, the eyes, the forehead, the eyebrows, all the way up to the crown of your head. And then the last muscle, I invite you to become aware of the muscles of the jaw. Many of us clench and hold anger and uncertainty and worry, grinding our teeth ever so slightly. See if you can move your jaw slightly left and right. Take a deep breath in and relax the muscles of the jaw. And now take a moment to be still. The mind may still be slightly active, and that's okay. Let your attention stay with the body and feel how it feels right now. An easy, slow breath in through the nose. And with this exhale, focus your attention now on the center of your chest, right around the area of your heart. Some people like to bring a hand up to their heart like they're pledging allegiance so they can connect to the area of focus. We'll take a few moments of silence where I won't speak here. And the goal or the focus of your practice is to see if you can feel your heartbeat. Breathing in, feeling the heartbeat. Breathing out, feeling the heartbeat. This might be a little challenging to notice at first. Most of us pay attention to the heart when we're angry or excited, or if we've just done some sort of physical activity when the heart is pounding fast. Notice what it's like when you're sitting still, how slow and quiet and soft the heart can be as you breathe in and you breathe out. The mind has already wandered away, wondering if you're doing this right or wrong. You're doing it just fine. Bring your attention back to breathing in and feeling the heart, breathing out, experiencing the sensation of your heartbeat. Let's do 5 breaths, and you can do this on your own. So a breath in and a breath out counts as 1. So do 5 of those in a row, letting the sensation of your heartbeat be the thing that you focus on. Good. A few more on your own. Breathing in, noticing the heart. Breathing out, noticing the heart. A nice, full, rich breath in. As you exhale, relax your attention from your physical heart. And now that we've gotten a little more still and slowed things down, the definition of mindfulness is to pay attention on purpose. So, what is your purpose? Why did you choose to come to this workshop today? Is there a personal intention for exploring mindful meditation for you? Maybe it's to embrace calmness. Maybe it's to find some soothing in the midst of chaos. Maybe to understand meditation. There's no right or wrong answer. But take a few moments now to breathe and get clear on your purpose, your intention, your mission even for meditating right now. Nice breath in and out, staying with your purpose, with your intention. If it hasn't happened already, see if you can refine your purpose or distill it down to a single word. So if your purpose is to get away from the crazy, maybe your single word is calm or peace, hope, stillness. Find one word that you can focus on for the next few breaths. And with each inhale, imagine that you're drawing in all of the positive qualities and attributes of your word. And as you exhale, you're letting go and releasing anything in its way. So if your word is calm, breathe in all the positive attributes of calm. And as you exhale, letting go of anger, doubt, worry, fear, just for that breath. Then breathe in, embracing your intention again, letting it fill you up, nourish you, and then as you exhale, letting go of anything that's in its way. Do 3 more slow breaths like that on your own, breathing in your intent, letting go of any obstacle to it. One more slow breath in, drawing in all the positive, letting go of as much negative as you can. And now even let your purpose, let your intention float off to the side of your awareness. There are 2 fundamental ways to be with our awareness or our attention. The first is focused awareness, and we have already experienced some of that, where I have invited you to pay attention to the body, pay attention to the sensation of the heartbeat, focus on a word. We're going to stay in this practice of focused awareness by using the ability to hear. Listen to something in your environment, whether it's a sound in your home, in your house, in your apartment. Maybe it's something outside, people making noise, a siren, a dog barking. It doesn't matter what it is, but let the sound be the thing that you pay attention to. Focus your awareness, breathing in, listening to that sound, breathing out, listening to that sound. And stay there as best you can for a few moments. Nice breath in. And with this exhale, move your attention to a different sound. Doesn't matter what it is, we're simply using our ability to hear as a focusing practice. So focus on another sound for another few breaths, breathing in, listening, breathing out, and listen. Another rich, gentle breath in. And as you exhale now, relax, listening to anything in particular. Let that sense, if you will, fall into the background. And now make an OK symbol with your hand. Touch your index finger and your thumb together. You opened your eyes, you can look and see what I'm doing on the screen, and then close the eyes again. And gently begin rubbing your fingers in a circle. Let it be a little slow, it doesn't need to be super fast. And what we're paying attention to now is focusing on the feeling, the sensation of our fingers touching. Breathing in, feeling the thumb and the index finger rubbing over one another. Breathing out, feeling the index fingers rubbing. And every time your mind wanders away to something that's not the fingers, just go, well, I've wandered away, and return, taking a deep breath in, feeling the fingers, deep breath out, focusing on the sensation, the feeling of the fingers rubbing together. A full breath in. And as you exhale, relax your hand back into your lap. Let your fingers stop rubbing together. And now shifting gears from focusing on anything in particular, we move to what's called open awareness or open monitoring, where there's nothing that you need to pay attention to other than be present. So breathing in, breathing out, hearing the sounds, feeling the body, feeling emotions, even having thoughts rise and fall. But to the best of your ability, step back, almost like you're just watching yourself be you. There's nothing to fix, nothing to solve, and we'll rest here in this witnessing, this observation, this watching for just about a minute in silence. And I'll call us out in just a moment. In just a moment, you'll hear some music come back in. And now just allow yourself to be. Let your attention wander wherever it will. The goal here now is simply to have an attitude of kindness towards yourself. There's nothing to do right or nothing to do wrong. You're sitting however you are, eyes opened or closed, breathing shallow or deep. All of it is perfect and good. Breathing in, breathing out, being as kind to yourself as you can today. To promote some kindness, bring your hand up to your heart. When we touch the heart, oftentimes that is connecting to the love, to the compassion, to gratitude, to the kindness that we are. And everyone has this capacity. You engaging and participating and trying this meditation with an act of kindness towards yourself. So thank yourself In many traditions, to bow the head is a sign of respect. So bow your head ever so slightly towards yourself. Honor yourself for making the choice to meditate today. And then bow your head towards your practice. Whatever your experience of meditation was today, it was the right one. Call back into mind whatever your personal purpose was for your practice today. Why you showed up for this. That word that you took a deep breath in and to. Just remind yourself of why you chose to be here. Your intention for meditating. Recognize that this intent is not something only for your meditation. This purpose you can carry with you out into the rest of your day, into the rest of this week, into the rest of your life. The only thing that's required on your part is a willingness to remember and to connect to it over and over and over again. That is living a mindful life. And the best way to live a mindful life is to have a disciplined, mindful meditation practice. Let's close this meditation with 3 slow breaths together on mouth. Breathing in through the nose, out through an open mouth. Good. 2 more like that. Deep breath in and out. 1 more deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to blink the eyes open. And just like that, we are done with our meditation. So before you move too much, notice how the body feels. Notice how the mind is moving. Notice how your emotional space is. You just meditated for about 27 minutes. If you've never meditated before, that's huge, and you should be really appreciative of their ability to do that. If you have meditated before, then you know the experience of taking the time to pause like that. So I want to entertain a handful of questions that came up right before we went into meditation. If you've got more, we've got about 8 more minutes before we end here. Please throw them into the chat here. So there were a couple of questions on how do you meditate when your mind is just racing with all kinds of ideas. So the goal, I mentioned this at the beginning, the goal of meditation is not to get ourselves to a point of complete stillness. And if you think of, if you've ever seen one of those snow globes, you oftentimes there'll be like a scene of Chicago or a town you visit, and you shake it up and it's got a bunch of things inside that look like a snowflake. Once you shake it up and you set it down on the table, those snowflakes don't drop to the floor of the snow globe right away. It takes a little bit of time, right? Just like snow outside, they gently fall down to the ground. Patience is required. Kindness is required towards ourselves. And our mind, it won't stop, but the mind will slow down. But it takes a few moments. It takes a few minutes for us to get there. The first few minutes of meditation are often the hardest because our mind has been going, right? So we've been shaking the snow globe of our mind, thinking. And then we try to sit down and meditate and expect it to go to almost nothing. We need to give it time for the mind and the thoughts to slowly fall down to the floor. But we must be patient with ourselves. That's why focusing on something, whether it's sound, a sensation in the body like the heartbeat or the movement of the fingers, when we focus on tangible things like that, it allows the mind to stop paying attention to the past and the future. And that goes to another question that came up on how do we get the mind, the idle mind, stopping from going to the past or the future? So there's something called the default mode network. This is the default mode that your mind goes into if you're not focused on something, right? So if you're not paying attention to the present moment, the mind immediately jumps to the past or to the future, takes off, and you start reminiscing about something in the past, or you start planning or catastrophizing about the future. That is the default mode of the mind. There's nothing wrong with that. The practice of meditation is training our awareness and attention to have another gear, if you will. So think of the mind's wandering to the past or the future is actually giving you an opportunity to strengthen or exercise your concentration and focus. Just like if you go to the gym and you have to do weights, you put resistance so that you can build the muscle. Each time your mind wanders to the past or wanders to the future and you slowly bring it back, that is like doing a rep, either doing push ups or lifting. You're strengthening your ability to focus. Okay, let's see what else is here. Harmonizing with melody, 27 minutes. Did that feel long or short to you? A lot of times people think that um, no time has gone by. And and Pearhart says, I'm so relaxed and feel free and at ease. My headache is gone. That is amazing. Um, the benefit of meditation, especially when it's guided, if someone is watching the clock for you, then you don't have to pay attention to time. Time is one of the most stressful things that we have invented as humans, right? You got to be on time. Don't be late. Make sure you're 5 minutes early. So we're constantly watching the clock. That is a constant churn. And if you think about the mind not being present, we're constantly thinking about what time has passed and what time has yet to come. When we can do a guided meditation, this is why Chill does guided meditation, is that someone is watching the clock for you. And if it's a class that we say it's going to be 30 minutes, it's not going to be 35 minutes or maybe 42 minutes. It's going to be 30 minutes, no more and no less. So you can rest assured and really let yourself experience just floating without that time. It's timelessness. And then that's why 27 minutes or 30 minutes or however long it may be doesn't feel like a whole lot of time, because you're not counting. So that's maybe why that 27 minutes felt short to you, harmonizing with melody. Um, Mindfulness books. There are so many books. We have a teacher training program, so if people are interested in learning how to facilitate and guide and teach meditation, we actually have one coming up. It's our first fully virtual program. It's launching this Saturday. Um, we use books by John Kabat-Zinn. One is called Full Catastrophe Living. There's another great book by a woman. She's a Buddhist nun. Her name is Pema Chodron. And she has a book simply called How to Meditate. And it really takes you through the steps day by day, week by week, minute by minute. And it gives you some goals on how to be with it. A question came in at finding a hard time, thank you, to meditate at home. So, meditation, in terms of mindfulness, it's not about escaping our life. If there's a lot of activity at home, it might be more beneficial to go outside. But if it's just hard for you to be at home because you start thinking about laundry or doing dishes or needing to do something else, it can actually be some healthy challenge for you to stretch, giving yourself the license to be okay, to sit in stillness. So we have about one more minute before we end. I want to thank everyone so much for taking the time to chill with me today. We are launching, and we have launched actually, our Chill Anywhere app. If you want to explore that, go to chillanywhere.com, or you can go to the Google Store or to the Apple App Store, and search Chill Anywhere. You will find it. You can download it there. And we have streaming classes live every day, as well as recorded classes. You can also check us out on YouTube, Chill on YouTube, Chill Meditation. We've got short little 2-3 minute meditations that can guide and instruct you on how to bring this practice into your home. Lastly, I challenge you tonight before you go to bed to set your timer on your phone or an alarm for 2 minutes. And the only thing you need to do is just tell yourself breathing in, breathing out, and pay attention to that before you get into bed for 2 minutes. See how your rest is. Thank you so much for taking the time to chill with me in Social Works today. Please go to their prom fund program, offer a few dollars if this was beneficial to you, and I wish you many, many, many moments of chill.
With you and your crew, 'cause everybody going in. As work, so we keep it lit. You can see how we move the city from the west side to the east. Ooh, you can feel it how we leave through. It's all about the youth. Change the world through the tunes. Make the world to a better place. And S works what we do.
Social works, social works, social works, social, social works, social works, social works. Social works. Keep my family out the dirt. This organization, we stopping no Satan and open mic, we call it Sworks. Action on tailor the killer verse. I doing my film, my city hurt. They killing our babies, this war going crazy. I pray for my city to reimburse. Running schools for the kiddies. We the city, yeah, we litty. All I know is to swerve. With the heart, keep it busy. Know the life can be tricky, but please just let me finish. Let me just be a witness. S-Works handle business.
Social works, social works, social works, social, social works, social works, social works.
Ready or not, here we come. South side, west side, east side, north side. Up on the run, we ain't for the none. We came in the party, we here for the fun. Celebrate life, the party we young. Sky is the limit, we looking above. We up in the sun.